Shall we start? Shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Good. So, how many of you are actually looking for career in media? Media. Nobody. Okay, can anyone tell me what is media is? Anything you know? I'm okay. Never stop your thoughts. Be open. Sorry?
Advertisement that mostly media.
Right. What else?
Common media.
Right.
The agencies are there, a lot of agencies.
Okay, great. What else? Do you all carry a mobile phone? Is it a part of media?
Yes.
How? Sorry? Right. Where is the opportunity of advertisement on mobile phone? Apps that you have seen. You must be accessing video. You have an option to skip ads, but not apparently every time. Right? So everything if we talk about is now linked with media, something we cannot live without. And if I talk about media as an industry, this industry is one industry which grows more than 10% every year. No matter it's a recession time or any bad times economy are seen, this will grow. One media can suffer, maybe some facts about the media industry which will help you. It's about 49,000 crore industry. This is as per the Global, which is the biggest agency in the world. Apparently have 56% share of market. And this data might vary about 5% because this is of organized industry data. If I talk about what is an unorganized data, you see the flyers, you see the pamphlets, you see a lot of outdoor ads. They actually are part of unorganized industry. So nobody knows what exactly spends. So there would be a tentative plus 5% over this figure. And the unorganized sector would be part of everything, apart from television and print, because television you can measure easily because you see the channels. So I have compared only 2 years, which is 2014 and 15. They have grown about 12.6%. And this year the expectation of media industry is around 12% again. Last year the basic reason of growth was political, because you have seen a lot of elections were there. Apparently, apart from India, there were elections in Haryana, there were elections in Jharkhand, there were elections in Delhi as well. So a lot was focused on political. However, because of non-government area, there was no government acts. So government is going to govern now from whatever the spends have been done on political. I hope you all are from marketing background. Any skill set required, do you think, for media?
Creativity.
Sorry?
Creativity.
Creativity. What kind of creativity?
Something different from other. That is eye-catching.
Sorry?
Something that is eye-catching.
Can you define something?
Like, if you say Nescafe ad, they have that admit that a person who stammers can also do, can also say jokes. So that's sort of that for comedy. That's a different thing which they brought up, and everyone was interested in watching that video.
Great. What other subjects can anyone think of? That's more of advertisement. Whatever you said it. Communication is a part of every industry, no matter where you are. So any other skill set you believe? Sorry?
Thinking out of the box.
Thinking out of box. Can you really think out of your mind?
No, but we can always think when we tend to think out of our knowledge, what we have
they get it through the intellect of others or by the books or our skill set. Everything out of that, you try to think out that. That's known as out of the box.
Do you believe there's something called innovative idea?
Yes.
Does it really happen?
Yes.
The idea is innovative or the execution? Anyone can think of any idea. It's actually who executed first. It gets the credit, right? And apart, if you think about ideas, I would tell you out of the 7 ideas which executed every day, only 1 gets successful. And out of those successful, only 10 stays in the long run. So that's how. So thinking out of the box, anyone can think. It's actually execution which makes you different. And media actually tells you how you can be different. Even if you will be in media sales, where you will be selling the advertisement space, but actually you will be telling them how you can be innovative for their brands. It's not, to give you an example, it's not the Nescafe ad which is innovative. It's the time it comes, where maximum people can see it. That's what you need to think. Like, because you would not be in the business of making the ads. You would be in the business of selling the ads or the ad space. So, if you sell the ad space thinking about where you can have the maximum exposure, that would be the time you will be innovative, counted as innovative in sales. So, sales is about that. So, I tell you a very brief about hierarchy, where you will be placed, because I will be covering few things in my slides, where you will be placed, how the hierarchy is up to a certain level, because I will not go beyond that, because reaching that level will take you around 3-4 years. Then only you will understand, because every media house has a different hierarchy, but this remains the same. Okay, the hierarchy is of course the executive or a management train, where you guys would be joining any of the industry. After a year, you might be at a senior executive level or an executive level as well. Then assistant manager or a deputy manager, and then there would be a manager who will lead the team. At the level of assistant manager or a deputy manager, you might not have a team, but a manager would have. Some industries, some media houses have a caliber of selecting a senior manager at that position. So senior manager has a manager, assistant manager, all in one team. How many of you wants to go into the creative field and how many in sales? In media. Nobody? Nobody wants to be selected? Or looking for wasting the money of parents? I think you must have spent about what, 6-7 lakhs in 2 years. That was the tuition fee you have paid. Apart from that, a 2 years expense would be around 3 lakhs more, which will make it 10 lakhs. So, no job. You would be okay with that? Sorry? Not in?
Not in media.
Not in media. Where would you want to be?
FMCG.
FMCG. What do you think is required in FMCG?
Yeah, I want to go in sales or not. You asked that who want to go in sales in media, so I want to do sales in FMCG.
What do you think is required in FMCG?
You said FMCG are knowledge and
Which particular area they are focusing?
yeah.
How many of you have heard about Kalpatuga TC? HUL, Hindustan Unilever Limited. Their radio, Kalpatuga. Nobody? Those who are looking for FMCG, read about it. It's a very nice case study. They have started this campaign about 15 months ago. It's a free radio access to anyone who give a missed call. And till today, which is like 15 months, they have on air about 700 billion minutes, about 485 million minutes of their ads, only through that, and it's only focusing on rural. It's not available in metro, and it's only happening in India. So you can see the exposure in FMCG, read those case studies as well, which also a part of media, how they have used the media. So media is not something like कि मेरे को यार newspaper बेचना है या radio बेचना है. It's not about that. It's about how creative you can be by designing a campaign. It can be a sales guy, it's not a creative person job. In FM you will find the person who, like me, in sales, designing the ads as well, writing the ads as well. What kind of music will fit in? What kind of voiceovers would be there? So everything happens inside the sales as well. And वो मीडिया बहुत अच्छा लगता है लोगों को सुनने में, यार पार्टीज होती हैं, बेचते हैं बहुत सारा बस है, राइट? Agreed? Everyone agree to that? It's not the true story. It's a tough job, similar to what FMCG is. So getting an ad is not an easy job. Sometimes you would be like sweating in sun, about 50 degrees Celsius, finding an ad. And the person who will crack it first gets the credit. It's not the person who cracks it second. If the ad has already come on print, even if you take it on FM, you will not get that credit. You need to be aware what is happening in and around of the city. On that only sales guy can do. Because he is the only one who goes out in the market, knows what is happening in the market. If you are sitting doing a research job, sitting in office, can you be actually aware what is happening in the market? Do you know what is the temperature outside this room? You cannot feel it. So the actual feel lies with the sales guy. He is the one who gives you the idea. Even if it is a creative guy, you need to work with the sales guy of that company who ad you are going to design. Because the sales guy gives you the actual feedback of the field. Whether your product is accepted or not. Whether they will have any benefit or not. What kind of offers should be running. It's the sales guy who design it. It's not the guy who is sitting in the office will design it. It's you who will propose it. And in the first year, whatever industry would be selected in sales or marketing, be in for you. Learn maximum in the first year. Because that is the time you will not have that much sales pressure. You can learn easily. Because once you complete your 1 year, it would be the business from first day. It would be sales, how much you have done. It would be only numbers. Nobody will ask you how many meetings you have done. They'll ask you how much business you have done. There is a protocol, लोग कहते हैं कि भाई 3 calls, 3 calls a day, 5 calls a day, 5 meetings a day. Nobody will question you that until or unless you would be doing the business. So media is fascinated. Agreed, there are parties. You get a lot of opportunities to meet Shah Rukh Khan, will be just standing next to you. You can have a selfie with them. But it happens only once. It is not the day-to-day job. Because most of the media houses, the people visit during the movie promotion. हर कोई देखता है, टीवी पे भी आते हैं, कॉमेडी नाइट्स के कपड़े में हर मूवी स्टार आते हैं, मोस्टली शोज पे आते हैं, उनका इंटीग्रेशन होता है, कोई भी रियलिटी शो चल रहा हो, किसी मूवी का प्रमोशन के लिए आते हैं. That's how they come in media house. You can meet them, greet them. But how many movies gets released in a week? How many? 1 or 2? Which have a big budget? 1 or 2, not more than that. How many stars will you meet? How many days will you meet them? And how many days are there in the week where actually you will be asked about the business? So that's the differentiation. Yes, of course, we have a lot of parties as compared to any other industry, but it has been reducing every year. So think about it. It's not that fascinated if you are looking for it कि नहीं मीडिया है तो सब कुछ अच्छा होगा. It's not that. Okay, what to prepare for an interview? Can anyone answer that question? आप सबने इंटर्नशिप तो करी होगी, इंटरव्यू भी हुआ था? Which industry? ITC. What have you done?
Sales.
In which area?
FMCG सेक्टर था मेरा ITC में और मेरे को सिर्फ सेल्स ही हुई इधर मिली।
Which product?
देयर PCB पर्सनल केयर प्रोडक्ट्स।
Personal care products. Interview के लिए कुछ preparation?
डायरेक्ट
Direct? No interview. Fine. That's great. Any other like it? Good. What about others? You must have given an interview. What have you done before the interview?
In F&B, food and beverage.
Right.
In Sampler company I did.
Right. What have you prepared for the interview?
I went through the website of the company, then I got to know like what is the alcohol percentage they have in their beer, what kind of beers they have, and what is the different type of beers which we don't have in India.
Right.
In the XYZ.
You must have done about 2 months of internship
Yeah.
or 6 weeks. 2 months. 6 weeks.
6 to 8 weeks.
6 to 8. Okay. Variation is there. Okay. Minimum 6 everyone has done, and maximum would be 8 weeks. Great. Anyone who has done sales during the internship? Hardcore sales which you got it. B2C or B2B is okay. What have you said?
Hitachi air
Sorry?
Hitachi air
Hitachi air conditioners. Oh, great. Summer's time. So dealers pay or customers?
I've been shifted after 10 days to dealer.
Dealer. So you were selling our sales by the dealer shop.
And for 20 days I was in E-zone because of ambience mode.
Oh, nice. What else? Somebody has raised the hand.
So Outlook India magazine.
Outlook India magazine. क्या होता है?
Magazine subscription.
Magazine. अच्छा magazine के subscription sell किए. Okay. Which magazine? Main Outlook magazine.
Read Elsevier Nexus sales issues.
Any other like किसी ने accounts बेचे हो, डीमैट account बेचे हो, और somebody in FMCG like वो इसने credit जाके distribute किया हो, क्या किया? Jubilant है, okay. तो डेली ये तुम्हारी जॉब ट्रक पे या ऑटो पे जाते हो? ट्रक पे या ऑटो पे, विच एवर इट इज। कैसा लगता है? सॉरी, गर्मी में कैसा लगता था? 50 डिग्री या टेम्परेचर कुछ सीखा उसमें कि क्या रिटेलर से जब बात करते हो कुछ सीखने को मिलता है? क्या
मार्केट के बारे में स्टार्टिंग में सबको मतलब आप उनके लिए कुछ वही स्टार्टिंग में अगर आप जाओगे
क्या एवरीवन लिसन और बी क्वाइट?
सर मैं एक रिटेलर के पास गया था तो मैंने उनको बोला आई एम अ सेल्स एग्जीक्यूटिव इन गो, तो उन्होंने मेरे को रिप्लाई किया दिस इज गुड फॉर यू, ऐसा आंसर आया वहाँ।
यू फेल्ट प्राउड और व्हाट? Not working for Coke is proud.
I was not in Coke, I was in movie release.
Agreed. That's how the FMCG companies are.
Yes.
Wasn't it a proud thing? 2 months you have done?
Sir, 45 days.
45 days. And okay. Since day one you will be distributing the crates of the food right? Nice. I have never done a sales job. I mean, in my culture, I have always looked for a research job. Reason being, I wanted to study more before deciding my field, where I wanted to be. So I have done a marketing research in my culture. I have studied the architectural infrastructure of IT companies. You must be thinking, what is it? It's ranging from how many computers are there, what kind of a setup they have on the network. Because I am from a computer science background, so I understand it better. Then I sold that project. I did a research for about 700 companies in India. I sold that project for 2 lakh. My institute allowed me to have a report of 49 pages to 99 pages. I submitted the report of 213 pages. Whatever that report contained, only one thing, whatever the criteria you would have to study, it has the graphs for it. Be it an employee size variation, be it a computer size variations, be it a turnover variation, anywhere you want to classify that data, there was a division of it. I took about 45 days to design it after doing my research. So, whenever you are in internship, never be disheartened. It's only 2 months. And it's actually giving you a perspective कि interview में क्या होगा next. Because people will not ask you कि आपको मीडिया के बारे में क्या पता है. You are not exposed to media. They will be asking you what you have done in internship. What have you learned out of the internship? If I say I ask you, what will you change in the vocab after seeing the rating as given? So that's where your thought is. Learn the things. Outlook maximum बेची by UCL. Outlook maximum बेची थी.
Yes sir.
कितनी बेची?
Around 22 subscription of
42.
22 of 85,000.
22 of 85,000 in 2 months.
Yes sir.
Outlook के बारे में कोई अच्छी बात बता सकते हैं? Any USP of Outlook? Any USP of Outlook magazine which is not there in any other magazine?
I didn't find anything good about this one. As compared to
Any USP for sales की नहीं है. सिर्फ रेफरल पे बेची.
So sir, I have to visit. I used to have B2B and B2C process. You have to visit a customer, their company or telephonic conversation with them.
तो उनको क्या डिफरेंशिएशन बता रहे हैं क्यों नहीं?
Yes sir.
उनको क्या बताते हैं क्यों ले वो?
Then I have to send a mail to them. Then I have to convince them. I have to tell them what are the subscription benefits they are providing.
So कन्विंसिंग में क्या बोलते हैं?
Sir, there are benefits.
That was the honest answer. That was the honest answer. I give you the similar experience. मेरी पहली मीटिंग थी रेडियो में. I was doing a sales call. When I went into the meeting, I told their not head, sir, this is my first meeting, and I am sure I will crack it. मुझे नहीं पता बट मैं यहाँ से बिजनेस लेके जाऊँगा. अब आपको मुझे कन्विंस करने की क्यों नहीं है? That's how I took about 2 months to go for that meeting. I was prepared. I cracked that deal in 1 week. The ticket size was 40 lakhs. And my profile was to sell a ticket size of 50,000. So I did my annual target then and there. I was a relaxed throughout the year. But the first meeting you need to be confident about yourself because आप उनकी query handle नहीं कर सकते. That's for sure. पहली meeting में आप उनके question handle नहीं कर सकते because they are there for last 10 years, 15 years, and you are just 10 days. So you cannot handle it. So you need to find something unique about yourself to sell it. It's not the product which I showed. It's actually I showed myself. नहीं तो एक executive को एक not head इतनी early business नहीं दे. That too when I was not from the FM background. That was the first meeting. मेरे को ये भी नहीं पता था कि FM की calculation कैसे होती. वो seconds कैसे calculate किया. So you need to be confident. He rightly said, ले लो ना यार. Problem क्या है ये बताओ. Let it be a feedback. Learn from the feedback. What people say, improve it in the next meeting. That's it. So, just be yourself. That's my only point. In any of the interview, learn to say no. Whatever you do. Don't make a fool out of the person sitting across the table because he knows better than you. Simply say no, I don't know, sir. कैसे होता है नहीं पता. He'll ask you why haven't you prepared? I'm not exposed to the industry that much. Whatever I know, I have just told you. Be prepared for those things. Some people will grill you. Before selecting for an FM, I had an interview of 2 hours, first round. Can you handle it? 2 hours, continuous grilling on FM when I was not from media background. At the same company, I got rejected 6 months ago. I prepared for it. What happens in the industry? Then I got selected. Since then, I've never lost an interview. That was my last rejection in anywhere. So whenever you go, prepare a resume accordingly. It's not the one resume which fits into all industry. There has to be something different. Whether it's sales in any industry, it's different. Because somewhere you sell the product, somewhere you sell the services, and somewhere you just sell yourself, which is B2C. The product doesn't have that much USP now. Nowadays, you won't find USPs in the products. It's actually you yourself which creates that differentiation. So just be yourself while preparing for an interview. Be confident what you do, but don't be overconfident what you do. There's a very thin line between the two. The few things I just wanted to share about media. Those people who would be interested in media or case studies on any industry. These are few of the portals you should read. There are a lot of case studies, a lot of news, what is happening around industries. Though it is focused on media, how they have used advertisements, but you will get the news. So first two is actually Indian. AFAX and it's seen for media, it's only focusing on the Indian market. If I talk about Bhag.com, that covers India as well as world. So if you subscribe to their newsletter, you will find a 5 news in the Bhag mail or a newsletter. First one would be India, second one would be Australia, third one would be New York. So that's how they place it. Every continent they cover. But a lot of good things you will be actually come to know what is happening in any industry, whether it's FMCG, e-commerce, whatever happening on the media industry itself, how people are moving. Some big names you will come to know about other industries as well. Some people's interviews. Do access exchangeformedia.com. There was an interview of Arnab Goswami 3 days ago. So access it, just read it. There were questions and answers. Whatever he has said, just focus on that, what kind of opportunities you have in the next 1-2 years. He has talked a lot about digital media focus because he is from TV and digital focus guy. But there are a lot of things you can learn from that interview. Compensation. Anyone interested in that? What kind of compensation you get in media? Anyone? On? Anyone raise the hand? Compensation में interested नहीं हो? So normally I forgot.
I think they offer 4 or 4.5.
Okay, that's very really big figure, I would say. Anyone else? किसी को मीडिया में नौकरी? Only one? Single person? Space selling, TV, e-commerce, websites, anything. Any idea about what kind of a compensation you get? Yes, no? So I made it big. Think big. Why stopping yourself at 3 or 4? From where?
I interned in HT Media, so they were...
HT Media, right? They offer about 3.5.
Yeah, earlier when I left, one employee joined, so he had a 4 lakh package. So that's why.
So he joined in between, but management training gets about 3.5. I'm giving you a realistic figure. That's the expectation you should have from this team. I work there and people run forever, so I know about them. Any other thoughts on the compensation? It actually depends upon the media house and the profile. And most of the media house will not hire you for sales. Remember that. If they are coming for a media, if they are not writing into media sales, remember that you have an option to be into the events, you have an option to be into branding, you have an option to be into sales, which is divided again into two parts, corporate or retail. And retail doesn't mean B2C. Retail means to SME. Leaving big corporates aside, every other thing is retail. So I give you one of the example of how they place it. When they hire you for next 2 months each, you will be placed in 4 departments: marketing, retail sales, corporate sales, events. 2 months each. After that, you will be getting a feedback and you will be placed in one of the verticals. Some of the media houses do this practice. Some have a requirement at that point of time, so they tell you in the interview it's only for media sales. And even they will tell you it's for corporate or retail. But you have an option to do. So those people who are thinking beyond sales, it's also an opportunity for them. To study about the branding, media sales is the best job. Because you will come to know how brands use their advertisement strategies, which is required. And if you would be thinking you would be a brand manager just in the beginning, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You cannot be even the assistant manager 2 years from now. I have kids in the Reckitt Beneficial. You know about this company? Which is that company? Which product they have? What else? Harpic, what else? Vanish. Have you heard Vanish? Have you heard Sedgwick? It used to be their brand. Have you heard Cherry? It's their brand. Anything else? Have you heard that air freshener in the car? Airwick is their brand. So it's a very big company. Used to have advertising budget of 400 crores in India. So you can imagine their turnovers. If they can spend that much on advertising. Used to have. Now that is about 275 CR. That company, if you want to be selected in that company, you need to be in 7 rounds after experience of 5 years. Then you will be selected as an assistant brand manager. And the opportunities, after working 3 years as an assistant brand manager, you might be placed in Hong Kong as a brand manager. That's how the company is placed. That's the MNC culture. But if I talk about HUL, it's a different scenario. It would be a very different scenario in Coke. In Coke, people have not changed from last 10 years. So that says a lot about the company. Have you heard about Google? Google का office लेना है किसी? कौन सा Gurgaon? Have you seen the movie named Internship? Yeah. Internship. That talks a lot about Google. That's how their office is exactly. It's not the picture which they are creating. Must see that movie. There were 2 guys thrown out of the job. They decided to go for an internship in Google, where job was not there for. The internship price was, if you get selected, you will be placed. Otherwise, you can go out. That's how it's about Google story. Not very nice movie, but learn about what Google does. It's a employee-friendly company. I think number 1 in world now. Have not changed in last 3 years, but there are always 7 rounds to at every stage. Whether it's an executive profile, management training profile, or a director's profile. So that's how Google is. That's about media. Any questions for that? Any question? Yeah.
Sir, you spoke about media. How about those advertisement agencies like the Dentsu is there, some other? What about those?
Talking about planning or creative? Creative branches. Okay, I give you a brief about it. So I give you a brief about it. You talked about role-in task or attention or ONM, Ogilvy, right? Ogilvy and Matter is completely creative agency. Low-lead task is creative, lead task is planning. Dentsu is both, which is called Dentsu is AG's Media. That's the company name. Dentsu is a brand. So if you talk about the creative side, it's actually the guys who apparently I have seen who have done mass comms, done advertising creations. Remember that advertising, whatever we study in MBA, it says it's strategy. It's not the creation of the ad. What is the impact of that creation? We study that. So if you talk about that part, I am not aware. Most about the creative. If you talk about planning, it's a very different process. You need to have knowledge of all the media, whether it's print, outdoor, radio, FM, digital, everything, because you will be planning everything. And every media has a different strategy to do it. That is what the planner's job is. So where you would be interested?
I mean, let us know that if I want to go for Dentsu or else if I want to go for a company like Comic-Con, then how do I get there?
So in advertising or creation of the advertising?
No, not like just planning.
Planning. So planning, I have just spoken to the man as well regarding what can be done for the people who are looking for the planning. You need to be very good in Excel from the first day. Do not expect someone to teach you. How to read it? There are different courses online free available for Excel. Access them, learn it, practice. There could be a file of 3 GB only in Excel. You cannot even imagine the kind of data it will have. It's only numbers. So Excel, be proficient enough. And when they are not good compensations, remember that. Don't have any expectations. I've seen the guy starting from the job as a planner at 8,000 rupees after MBA. So don't have those expectations. That's the hard, don't track from the planner. If you are having that expectation of getting a hefty salary of like 5 lakhs ETC, forget it, it's not the real thing. You're getting very less salary, you'll be working more than 12 hours a day. Sometimes till 2 o'clock in the night. And then I get back to the office at 7 in the morning. That's how it's tough. The realistic picture looks very easy. The perks, additional perks apart from your salary would be good. Which could be movie vouchers, which comes as a gift. The realistic picture, the party's invitation, the lunches, the dinners, everything. But salary would not be there. So if you have education loan, that's not the area.
And so what about the company like your Comic-Con?
Comic-Con I am not, I am telling you about the big conference.
And so this companies in the accreditation you have to do MBA.
I think then MBA is a waste of time. I feel like. Because the people who are sitting at the strategic level are very experienced. They first learn the planning, the buying of media outside, the sales, then they reach to that level. But they start from there. If you talk about the creation, you will not find any guy have done MBA in that way. Because our thought process is very logical. And creative is not that logical. It could be anything, any idea, any weird idea. Right? If you want to see the creation of what person can think, watch the condom ads, digital ads. They are the most creative ads I have seen. Because that's the toughest communication I believe. You cannot be offensive to anyone, but you need to make your communication. So watch their digital ads. That's the creation. Or watch outdoor ads in the world. Outdoor ads in the world. You will not imagine what kind of thought process they have. Oliver Kahn का नाम सुना है किसी ने? Football देखो. Right? The World Cup which France won 1998. 9. There was a 1980. So there was an outdoor ad when the World Cup started. Oliver Kahn picture over the road in a oval shape, catching the ball. There was no communication apart from that. That's how people think in outdoor. But it's highly unorganized sector. Right? So creative, read a lot about creative things. On these portals, whichever I have shared, copy the slide as well. afax.com, exchangeformedia.com. In AFAX, there is a link called Creative Showcase. Click on that, you will find a lot of ads. TV, print, radio, everything. If you want to be into the creative field, just go through them. Don't need to understand that. You're not at that level. Just watch it. You will remember few ads. Mastercard की बहुत अच्छी सी ad है, priceless. You can add a one more tagline to it, but the things which give you happiness come with a cost. Right? So always remember that. The things which are priceless, but the things which give you happiness come with a cost. For that you need to earn. And it's not an easy field outside. टू-व्हीलर पे सेल्स करने में लग जाती है 50 डिग्री टेम्परेचर में, जब आपको एक दिन में ग्रेटर नोएडा घूमना लगा तो ध्यान रखना है और ये होता है. डोंट बी कोजी कि आपको एक अच्छी जॉब मिलेगी, आपका अपॉइंटमेंट्स को सेट करके देगा, आप जाओगे, अपनी अच्छी सी प्रेजेंटेशन दोगे और सेल्स कन्वर्ट करके जाओ. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा. सब कुछ आपको करना. फिक्सिंग एन अपॉइंटमेंट, going there, creating a PPT if you want, or whatever. It's your job. Any other question?
So being a part of media industry, how do you differentiate between the people who are mass comm or journalism grads and the people who are management grads?
Management guide, I just told you where you will find them. It's at the strategic level. It's at the sales level. It's at the.
I'm talking from the entry level perspective.
So I'm talking the planning level. The sales level. If you talk about the mass comm or a journalism honest guy, he might be into reporting, he might be into the creation. So ad creation would be his job, not yours. But in FM you will get that opportunity. That's the only difference. Because in FM you don't have that time. It's not a costly ad. TV ad को बनाने में महीनों लगते हैं. Production होती है, editing होती है, सब कुछ होता है. It takes only 1 hour to make a radio ad. Thinking about it, writing, recording, everything. That's the minimum I'm telling you. So you will get an opportunity in FM to create an ad, to produce an ad, to sell an ad, and to sell the ad space. That's how FM is. This you will get an opportunity in digital as well. How to design that ad, what communication needs to be there in the mail, because when you send a mail the subject is very important, which either force a person to click or a person to delete it without reading a mail. So that's how digital is. Any other question? That's it? That's it? Thank you very much.